Got my Aquafina. Reminds me, I want to wish Minji's family and Minji's Bottling happy 100-year anniversary this past weekend. So obviously they're an important part of our community, good friends personally of mine and many of us, and certainly great friends and supporters of our athletic department. So happy anniversary, Minji's Bottling Company. So first kind of day of practice for Michigan today, and I thought it was solid. When you start transitioning to this, you now all of a sudden you got guys that are running Michigan's offense and Michigan's defense and Michigan's special teams, and so you got to kind of work through that because all those freshmen and some of the new guys, they come in here and they're going to start their freshman year and they're going to do this and do that, and sometimes they do and a lot of times they don't, and so got to kind of work through that and teach them the bigger picture about number one, they've got to continue to develop each day, and I try to use examples of Rajay Harris started out on the scout team his freshman year, Jerry Patterson, the job that he did last year on the scout team, and so many guys. I mean, 99% of our players in our program started out on the scout team. And but those freshmen, they don't see that. All they see is what they're going through right now. So we got to help them through that. So that's a few of the things you got to iron out. But it was good to get started on an opponent. Obviously we have a tremendous challenge in the opener, and the more you watch them, not a whole lot of weaknesses with what they have returning, and very, very good football team and program, and Coach Harbaugh's done a great job recruiting. The past 4 years to build this roster, and so we got a great challenge. But we're excited about that challenge. The kids are very excited. You could feel their energy in the team room today. You could feel their energy when we took the field. And it was a cooker out there when we first got on the field. So appreciate the cloud cover kind of knocking it down a few degrees and getting that humidity out of here so we could have a very productive day. But it's always gets more exciting when now you have something to focus on, like the first ball game. So. Good first day.
Coach, you almost need this week, or at least the first couple of days, to get those scout teams acclimated. It's good to have this week. Yeah,
I reminded them. I said, listen, guys, you're supposed to be Michigan, okay? So, and obviously they're not, but that's, it's one, they have to give us a great look. That's important. And every school in the country went through the same thing today. All of them did. But the other thing too is just trying to get them to see that you don't become the finished product overnight, and you've got to push yourself to improve every single day, and you got to stay on a positive trajectory in order to become that finished product one day. And so it's a twofold deal. But yeah, there's a lot of things to iron out the first day. We weren't live tackling today. You were thud tackling, and we were a little sloppy after a couple of days off. It's very important that we really sharpen up our thud tackles, because we got to make sure we're getting our bodies in great position to make those open field tackles and to make good proper fundamental tackles. If you're not a good thud tackling football team, you're not going to be a very good tackling team on game day.
It appears Jim Harbaugh may not be on the sidelines for the opener. Looking at it from your perspective, how big is that, or how maybe not big is that with assistants and everything? What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. It's kind of went back and forth, and I think it's kind of silly, to be honest. If you want to punish him, figure it out in the off season. Quit going back and forth like this. So I hope he is on the sideline. He's going to coach throughout the week. I don't think it's going to make a significant difference one way or the other on game day. He has a staff that's been with him for a while. His offensive coordinator's been there. A couple of guys on the offensive staff have been there. So, they'll have the game plan and I'm sure do a great job of running it. So, but I'd just assume he'd be across the field.
Coach, in the tight end room, you've had Tyler Savage go down with an injury. How is that room kind of bonding around Shane as a leader, the two freshmen behind him?
Well, I think the two freshmen are going to be really good ball players, and we've prepared them since the beginning of camp to be ready to play this year. Both of them are very talented. They're very different. Obviously, Shane is a veteran and has looked very, very solid so far during preseason camp, and really, really like the athleticism of that room.
Coach, did with Chase Soul and also Caleb Robinson getting a little healthy, Ryan King as well, have they shown anything the last few days in practice, kind of stepping up a little bit?
I thought they all three looked pretty good today. I mean, I thought towards the end of last week and then a few flashes on Saturday, but I thought today they looked good. All three of them I think will help us in time this year. And you forget Chase. I mean, Chase has 4 years of eligibility left. He is a very young player. Keelan's not that old. Ryan's a little bit older, but still he's got a couple of years of eligibility. But I think all three of them, we're going to be glad they're here, and I think all three of them will help us at some point this year.
We all go full pads at all the rest of this week, or it just takes.
Yeah, I mean, I think we need to be in pads the next couple of days because you're gonna go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday not in pads, even though we are going to practice on Sunday. So I think it's good to get some pretty good contact in this week, really kind of sharpen up everything, and that way when we come back next week, you already kind of have a good idea game plan wise, and you can really focus on fine tuning everything before the opener.
I know Navy plays this weekend. It might be the only team on your schedule playing, but will you watch any live football Saturday, or are you watching Michigan film?
No, I'll probably watch it. So Saturday the staff will be off. That's kind of the last day you get off before before the bowl game. Until after the bowl game. So it's it'll be whatever my wife needs me to do in the morning, and then we'll flip on the TV, and me and the boys will watch whatever games on in the afternoon and evening.
How do you watch football? Are you able to just like sit and be like, wow, that was a cool play? Or are you like, oh, I see what they did there, and you're picking them apart?
I can promise you this, there's zero stress because whether whatever team wins or loses, it's got no impact on me for the most part. So I enjoy watching. I enjoy watching the sport. I wish I got to see my Cowboys play more often than I do, but especially when they're whooping up on the Commanders or whatever their name is this year. But I enjoy just watching it. And yeah, I'll look at stuff sometimes and say, oh, that's a play we run, or that's that's a pressure we use or whatever. But for the most part, I just enjoy sitting back and watching it.
Did you hear from Holden after he kneeled down the ball and a win over the Cowboys this past weekend?
I haven't heard from him since that one. I'm shocked. We've been talking after most of his games and stuff, but yeah, he's played pretty good now for 2 straight games, and Keaton, good to see him gash the Washington football team last night. So really excited for those 2 guys and what they're doing. So.